Right. Okay, so this is the program you've got, which at the moment, if I run it like that, I can enter in a score, okay, and it'll give me a grade. Now remember, the score I'm entering is out of 10. So you just need to change this to be out of, or to be a type of speed. And I'll show you that in a second. I can display my scores here. Now it says names and scores, so I've got to put another section in here to enter the names as well. Then I can display them both. Okay, so close it off. Let's go back to our code, but I'm going to look at the designer page first, because they're the changes I need to make. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. That's going to be my names and scores. Now, put them in the one. Yeah, why not? Maybe might be a good idea. I can do all three. I can display names, grades, and scores. So I'm going to first of all change that button. Put me up here. Display names, grade, or names, scores, and grades. Okay, there you go. So I'll change that. So I'm going to have to change that code there later. Now, when I click insert, it inserts the score. I also want it to insert a name. So I need to introduce a new text box down here. So I have to go to, if I can go to View Toolbox, and I need to insert a text box. Now you can often just copy and paste them, but inserting them is just as good. So text box here. There you go. So insert here, the number here, the name here. Now that text box is called text box. I'm going to change its name to call it student name. Student name, text box, student name, S name. So it's easy to type. S name. So score, name, insert. Score, name, insert. That's how I'm going to do it. Okay, and then I'll display them. It'll work out the grade. Okay, so let's go back to my code. Okay, so I've got a dim score as an integer. I need to dim student name. Now, I did call it S name in as a text box. That's all right. This is code, so it has to be a little bit more definitive. That's all right. So now I've got scores 20, names 20, grade 20. I can have up to 20. Okay, so as I press insert, first of all, my score value goes into my score array. What I also need to do is my student name at index takes the value of that S name text box. Text. So whatever I type in the S name text box goes into my student name. Now remember, these are scores out of 10. You need to change this to be type of speed. So I'll give you an example. At the moment, if it's greater than 8, it's an A. Well, remember, if it's greater than 65, then it's out of range. Out of range. If it's, I can't remember what it is, so I'm going to say if it's 45, then say excellent. So you're going to have to change all that. Okay, I'll leave that for you to change. But we know greater than 45, then greater than 65 out of range, greater than 45 is excellent. So we can remember that when we come to test it in a second. So we've worked out the grade. We know the name, we know the score, so we need to print out or display all that sort of stuff. So here's the big display line. We display score, grade. I'm going to include at this point and student name I. Now I need to put in a space. There we go. See that space or a dash? What looks better, a dash or a space? Maybe a dash might be better. Oh my God. Okay, I'll try that. Let's see how that goes. See if it makes sense when we run. So I've done a few things there to change it. Hit it. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. I'll move that here. So remember, oh, actually, I'll do 5 and then Terry, insert 6 and Barry, insert 2 and Ted, insert display, and I've got 5 Terry, 6 Barry, 2 Ted. There's my grades. Okay, so that works. One last thing we need to do to change it. If I go to my design page, if I go to this, I think this only accepts values 1 to 10. Maximum is 10. There you go. So I'm going to make that maximum 100 just to allow for values up to 100 there. Okay. Minimum 0. All good there. Run it one more time by way of test. Okay, we're going to insert 66. Remember, that should be out of range. That's Ted. Insert there, that's good. 46 should be excellent for Fred. Okay, that's looking good. And then obviously all the rest are going to be the old grades we haven't changed for Ed. Okay, so we've entered 3 names. If I display them, 66 for Ted, 46 for Fred, 6 for Ed. Okay, all good. That should work. That should give you enough info on that. Hope it helps.